Hi, welcome to Market Flow. I'm going to do a quick analysis on the market for today and as well about some of the stocks that are worthwhile reviewing. Real quick with the market, it quickly sold off all the way to about 411 and then it retraced to 416. The market found some buyers and that's good signal for the bulls. It closed above the 20 moving average. That means that the market can still have some gas to the upside, but with some warnings, especially on the QQ. If we look at the QQ right now, the tech sector had a little bit more of a sell-off, especially this one was lose the support that had about 334, and as soon as that support was lost, it sold off all the way to about 326. The target for QQ for the bears is about 320. Short term, that will close the gap that is currently below the 15 moving average. It's probably going to take a couple days, especially since it has to go it has to cross the 50 moving average. Other than that, I think this may be an opportunity to buy for the bulls. But if you want to see my long-term perspective about the market, you should watch my weekend video. This particular point, especially if we go into the market overview of the last year, it looks like things are very overbought. And as you can see on the QQ, this new high that he made recently was done with negative divergence, so that's a warning, and it is a warning that perhaps the market is getting a little bit toppy for the short and maybe for a few weeks, so that has to be determined. Let's go and look into Apple. It's a good company to look to see if it's going to move the market. One thing to notice about Apple is when it had these earnings were pretty good, were above expectations, and the market decided to sell Apple. And the reason why is because a lot of institutions think Apple is probably overvalued and it's not worthwhile putting money right now in an overvalued stock like this. They're probably betting for a correction in the market, in my opinion. And there's signs of that when we look at the weekly chart right now. You can see that it recently created this negative divergence. It has negative divergence on the RSI. It hasn't created new highs. And if this is a ABC correction, target will be about 110. However, short term, as far as today, one bull sign or what good sign is that it found support about the 50 moving average, and that's a good sign for the bulls. Again, a lot of the short term indicators are oversold, and it can do a back test of this level right here. And if it decides to start making new highs, then that will be another leg to consider for this market. But as far as right now, things look like it just broke this support, and we're just waiting to see how far down it goes. If this is an ABC correction, again, the target for the bears is about 108, and that will coincide with these other supports that it had in the past. Let's look at other sectors. So right now, the reason why SPY is holding higher than QQs is because it has gained some strength from XLE and XLF, which is the finance and the energy sector. And I think energy sector right now, it's a good market for the bulls. As you know, there is signs of prices getting higher on the overall market with inflation, and oil is not the exception, and a lot of institutions, traders, investors are betting on the bulls on the oil. And one of the things about it is that it recently broke this triangle right here. It back tested it, and now it's about to break highs or recent highs of 66. Short-term target, it's $70, and I think once these targets are reached, it's not going low anytime soon due to the inflation. If you look at the chart, and I think this is why it's worthwhile looking at this right now, because this is what the institutions are looking where, and I think where the money is going to flow right now. We had a long-term correction on oil for several years since 2008, and so right now it's breaking out from those levels. If this trend line is correct, we break out. We did a backtest of the trend line, and now we're going to the upside. With inflation, oil is going to reach very high prices. It can reach back $140, and again, that's just technicals, speculations, but there's a few things that can validate the thesis. One of them is the chart, the other one technicals, and then the other one is the fundamentals. The oil, it's getting on demand, and there is more inflation on prices. So this is a good trade for anyone who is bull with XLE or any energy company that is not solar panels, because right now I think solar panels are not doing as well. But anyways, I think this is all I wanted to share. There's probably a few other stocks that I wanted to look at, and those are coming from the tech sector. And it is a little bit obvious that a lot of these have lost their trend line, and right now they're doing a correction. Either it's going to be a zigzag correction for some of them and then find buyers, and then for others it's going to be perhaps a price correction. And last one to look into will be CLOV. So CLOV is a company that I'm bullish right now, and I have a position, and it recently broke out from the downside. It is doing a backtest on the 50 moving average, 20 moving average, and then it found quite a bit of buyers there, and it was able to close right above $9. This is a good sign. It came down all the way to 850 levels, which was support, and then it closed above $9. So I think that Clover, it's about to make another leg to the upside, and I expect it to go. My target for the short term will be around 13.24. So let's see how that goes. And that's pretty much it. Real quick with NEO, we can look at it right now. NEO did a backtest of 36, and then he found some buyers right here. It did that earlier on the week, and then he came down all over here, and then he found buyers. So right now it's struggling to cross the 50 moving average, but the RSI right here starts to look like this is a support, and it may found bounce. If I look at the short term in NEO in the 1 hour chart, it looks like the 1 hour, the 4 hours oversold. So it is likely that it's going to bounce at least to match the 50 moving average again. And then if you cross that, then it's going to make higher highs. The one thing to be worried about the EV sector is Tesla. And the reason why, it's because there's a lot of bears on Tesla right now. And if Tesla goes down, it takes a lot of the EV companies with it. Right now the target for the bears is 400. There is a gap right here, and then that coincides with a zigzag correction right here. There were a lot of bulls that were buying right here about this support, but then once this trend support line breaks, I can see impulsive sells to the downside, and then that will conclude with long-term correction for Tesla. And I think that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a good day, and like and subscribe.